Okay. Hopefully that should have fixed that. Let me know, Dawn. I greatly apologize for that. It seems to be a recurring problem. But I restarted, so I'm hoping the audio and video is in sync better now. It's good now? Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much for looking out for that. Okay, so now we're back on track. Oop, okay, so suddenly Ryunosuke is being accused of being a criminal. Yikes. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit to your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, huh? No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Is he really being accused of murder again? Yeah, he really is going for Maya's record of being accused of things, or being missing, or what have you. Just, ugh. Gee. He's the new Maya, kind of. Miss Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Don't tell me Kazuma's dead. Like, he can't just be dead. Not like that. Ha! You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuse. What? No, he can't just be dead. Not like that. That's so sudden. Excuse me. No. No. What? What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. I feel like it's like, please just say psych right now. We were just introduced to the guy. It really is. Oh, you're right. Yeah, this is like being like another Mia, right? Yeah. This is like a whole Mia all over again. Gee, what? Oh my gosh. And these handcuffs, surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. It just feels like I'm living in a dream. Like he just wakes up and this is happening. No! It's a lot of O's. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Yeah. Are you sure about this? Will we get in trouble? Ha ha ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case into the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. So definitely something happened like before this and the present, because all the stuff on the shelves is all neat and tidy now instead of just like all over the place and falling over. Put him in a suitcase? How would you fit a full-grown person in a suitcase? It's gotta be a big suitcase. Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty sizable. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. That's uncomfortable. What? How did he breathe? Did they put, like, air holes in there? You must be even less of a man than you... Oh, Oh, that's not cool. That's harsh. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Man. What? Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. Yeah, so I remember the question came up last time I played this of like when exactly this took place, and I looked it up and I think it was like late 19th century or so. So like around Victorian era times, which would explain why they're, you know, taking a boat to England instead of a plane. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant, Miko Toba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. They don't ever officially say a year. Yeah, I guess they just kind of give a general idea of when it might take place. But, that just makes me wonder, if it's like a murder on a ship, are we gonna have like a trial on the boat, or is it gonna like wait until we get to shore? Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for... God, poor Ryunosuke just keeps getting shoved into tiny spaces. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Or he could just end up in Narnia. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? That just might make people want to check it even more. They're like, why? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. You've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We'll leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Da, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Oh, man. Suzaru-san. Oh, is that like the chalk drawing where the body was in the back there? Please tell me what happened. I need to know. Chalk or tape, whatever they use to mark that off. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Yeah, I want to know. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. But what do you mean? Susato's one wrong word away from making a second locked room mystery. Yeah, he really is. There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolts on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit could only have been somebody inside this cabin. So this just sounds like a case of mistaken identity if, like, he was still in the wardrobe or something when this happened. Or like, he was the only one around pinned the crime on. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. Yeah, and then like, why would someone want to kill him in the first place? I have a lot of questions here. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Sasada-san, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. Yeah, gee, yeah, because that was like one thing that was lacking from the last case, is they didn't have a proper autopsy, they just did like the post-mortem examination, so like you're missing information there. So even here, it's kind of hard for them to get the exact details right away. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then? That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what's actually happened here in the cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at this cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. What language is that? And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose? And that's also like a classic murder mystery thing where they, like, the victim writes something in blood, or in this case, ink. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard for me to believe too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Alright. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I am afraid that's true. Yeah, I suppose that would make him look more suspicious if he's already, you know, snuck aboard here. You know, it's like, why would he do that? It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? He knew. He noticed. Well, they kind of conspired together to make this happen, I guess. No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you. But why? I am afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? He's too cool to be dead! Like, no. I don't want to accept this. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then... then what? Nothing. Forget it. But yeah, there was a thing like at the very end of the last case that he wanted to tell us, and then we were interrupted. So there was like something he's still keeping from us, or was. I don't know if we'll ever know now because he's dead, supposedly. But yeah, Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. It's more like a lot. Like, the look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susaru-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes? So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yes? I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. But the head throbbing, it makes you wonder if there was, like, some cause to him falling asleep and not, you know, hearing what happened. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susaru-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there was no one else who could possibly have done this. Ugh. Oh boy, it's quite the pickle we have ourselves in. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You are the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. Oh geez, you're gonna have to, like, defend himself again here, just like last time. So, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! What? Oh, snapperoonies. She just whooped his butt. What the? That was a Susato takedown. Oh man. Dude, she's so badass. I like her even more now. Susato, what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She is expecting me to present some conclusive evidence? I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of an awful crime. We only have 2 things to show, so I think it's gotta be this. Oh yeah, that's the thing that Kazuma gave us earlier, huh? Little keep out sign. This is the paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. But I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So we use it anyway. Oh yeah, because it's written in Japanese, huh? And it worked! I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors! That... Anything back here? Of interest? Is it like the glue or something? You can see the remnants of the glue we used to stick this over the wardrobe doors. Although it wasn't proper glue, of course, we didn't have any of that with us. So I pulverized some rice into a paste to use instead. Oh, that's creative. But to a stowaway like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. That's why I spread it as thinly as possible. I couldn't bear to waste any. Alright. Well, let's show this to her. Yes! Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Oh dang, poor Inosuke had to nap in there for like the past couple of weeks. That does not sound pleasant. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. That's a good point. It's kind of like whenever people seal envelopes with like something to where you can tell someone opened them if it's torn. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Will that work? Will she believe it? Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, if we're still upside down, I can see why Kazuma thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. And now, do you think perhaps you could help me out? Yeah, don't just leave him hanging like that. It's been like that upside down for a while. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating it here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am? A magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. Ooh, this music though. Do 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 do. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Yeah, it really does have amazing music, Dawn. I shall be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I would want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Oh, well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear. I will avenge your death. Oh boy, okay. You finally get to do, like, crime scene investigation stuff. That's always fun. See if you have anything. I want to see what she says when I present this, just out of curiosity. I'm definitely the type of person in these games where, like, I will present everything to people just to see what they say. I know the game, like, some of the past games even call you out at one point, like, people who do that, which I found funny. There's some bangers you have to play. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait, Distaza. Susato-san, about this. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. But we don't have time to waste on anything else. We must find clues. She looks serious. Really quite deadly serious. See if she says anything different on this. No. Okay, so just skip through that. Okay. I just had to check. I had to know. I'm curious. Okay. Do you have anything new to say? No, you don't. Okay, so I guess I'll start actually looking at stuff. Examine. These are the rules of passage to travel aboard the SS Buria. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Aw, no pets. That's a shame. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous... Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Oh boy. I can't decide. She is savage. Well, one thing is for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be hanging her. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, well, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Yes, that's not good. And I suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard. Are you, Naruhodo-san? Oh, tutorial. Okay, gotcha. I'm sure you're careful to look around, all around using left and right, aren't you? Now let's investigate all quarters of this cabin. Okay. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay. Door. When I went for help, and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. That's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense up and all down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, it's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. I like how, they let you know, like, what you've already investigated, because some of the older games wouldn't do that, so it kind of helps it easier to make sure you took everything. Yeah, fortunately, also, yeah, welcome Elvis, welcome to the stream. Yeah, fortunately, we have a very helpful mod who can get rid of the robots. Thank you for that, Dawn. Okay, let's see what this guy's deal is. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Oh, this one lets you know if you miss something in the room. Oh, bless. That is awesome. I'm so glad they do that, because, yeah, I hate to miss something. What? I was wondering, how's it going? The investigation, I mean. So stern. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Yeah, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Yeah, I don't think he's going to help us. Did I hit a nerve? I just for a minute there, and he seemed a little flustered. Okay. This cursor's so sensitive. Seiji, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you sewed away on this ship? And now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Okay. Tablecloth. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and the cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yeah, I see like a little plate with a chicken bone or something down there. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Was the dinner laced with something? Is this back to like the last case where something was like the drink had something in it? So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No. Okay. More to say about this? That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. Yeah, that does sound good. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog. I mean, she was asking earlier if he was more of a pet or a weapon. Maybe he was more of a pet. Here at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean? Poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly. I mean, that is kind of a sad thought. Like, did he get a good final meal at the very least? You know? You always hear about the sayings of, like, people who, like what their last meal was or something before they, you know, were, like, on death row or something. It's always interesting to hear what people request. Makes you wonder, like, how would you answer that question? Like, what would be, if I, like, could pick a final meal, what would I do? It's too horrible. Ugh. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. I don't know, man. I've been on a, like, real sushi kick for, like, the past year, so maybe just, like, all of the sushi I could possibly eat. That would be a good final meal. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware? Whatever thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. That looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. Was he wearing kimonos on the side, maybe? I mean, hey. Nothing wrong with that. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket around like this with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Okay, I think I saw everything on this side of the room. So... The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea, although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked. And everything mown down at once. I wonder if... To me, it just looks like the boat just had, like... what would... Turbulence wouldn't be the term. That's like flying a plane. What's the term for, like, when a boat rocks from, like, the waves going crazy? I don't know if there's, like, a term for it. Probably. I just can't think of it right now. Whatever the ocean equivalent to turbulence is. Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama's doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Oh well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Isn't that tampering with the crime scene? You shouldn't be touching that and like getting your fingerprints all over it in case there's like some kind of evidence that'll tie it back to the criminal. Well, I mean, that does look better, I guess. What is that statue even of? I want to look at the body spot less, because that seems like the most important thing in the room. I mean, literally the elephant in the room, you could say. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Oh, poor Rinosuke. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Oh gosh, I hope no one accidentally put upside down. That would have been terrible. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. Oh no! The VC got turned upside down. Ouch! It just sounds like you just hit your head like that. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Aw. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susanoo takedown. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. That is sad. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thought. I mean, I think at this point, if it's a murder investigation, that just kind of has to go out the window just to solve things, you know? I know it's a violation of privacy, but that's part of an investigation. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Gee. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. Reading someone's journal is illegal. Yeah, true. You should not read other people's stuff. This is not nice. That is not cool. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? What is that? I thought this would have been important because it looks like a way to, like, communicate things. Like, announce. Okay. Did Cosmo read that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. And then I suppose he read this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to... Is that in Russian? Did he know... whatever language this is? I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then, what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Okay, so now we can see what's on the other corner here. Wardrobe. I'm sure you're well acquainted with that wardrobe by now. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. Because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Oh, what's that? Like a vent? I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. Oh, through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Oh yeah, someone could have like crawled through there. Yes, it would appear to, you're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's a good point. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. No! Excuse me? Where did you come from? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago! As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. What is this position he's... What? Better not be reading the diary, dude. We already established it's not cool. Oh, how did he... Quick, he's read the journal, stop him! Yeah, quick! Hurry! Well, why don't you, like, dropkick him just like you did to Ryunosuke? You've noticed the man, too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. I know, he's tall. That's us. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Yeah, we're like among a celebrity now, right? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Yeah, I mean, most people don't sit on a desk like that. And he's investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, you simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Susanna sound like almost uncontrollably excited? Yeah, she sounds excited. By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. When you press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you converse with them. Oh boy! Is that how you talk to people? I totally like, that could be helpful for real life. I just gotta look for the crosshairs that people have, and then I can talk to them. That's how it works. I can make friends now. Thank you, game, for teaching me that. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Yeah, exactly, dog. You just press A on people and they'll talk to you. It's like that simple. You just gotta, you know, just have that A button handy. It's a secret. Secret to conversing. To making conversation. Oh, please do. Sometimes I also wish life had a skip text button, if you know what I mean. Okay. Well, I suppose we can examine you. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Awkward. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Oh! Hi! Greetings, I hope I haven't kept you for long. Ah! There's a jump scare. What exactly were you doing in Kazuma's desk just now? Oh my. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Yeah, what kind of goggles are those? Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. You're kind of way off the map there, buddy. But you gave it an honest try. Great deduction, yeah. Sorry, what? What are you basing this off of? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. You don't think you've been there when you must be right? Oh yeah, totally, absolutely right. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, clearly. But how? How the deuce did I know, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? Oh, she's like fangirling over him now. She's like starstruck. But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, have you fled your native land of Russia? Being as you are a merciless revolutionary. Still not right. What the heck? What do you think he is? You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake. My goodness, that's a lot of people you would have killed. And now you travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower! The Crystal Tower! I can't help but think of Final Fantasy XIV, right, Dawn? Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. And when the ruined occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Okay, so that's what he's thinking, is the angle he's taking. He thinks that we were, like, a stowaway here to assassinate Kazuma or something. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. This is a lot of fun so far. This case. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. What? Huh? It was you who did this. Why do you believe him? No, please. That's very much not right. Ugh. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. And you're this is getting very out of hand very fast. You're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Gosh, this is like the third time she's done this. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. What if he's like secretly a genius though, and like it's not Ryunosuke who did this, but his description would fit whoever actually did it, maybe. I don't know, man. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you... what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head? Or am I? Yeah. What if he actually... what if we're, like it's one of those unreliable narrator situations where all the time it actually is him? Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that? Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Ha! I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. Okay. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes! Oh man, that's a cool theme. I keep accidentally hitting that button. So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same, the inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes! Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san. Of course I do, there's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. What do you think, Sherlock Holmes? You think Sherlock Holmes first? I know, probably after playing this, I'm gonna like always say it this way instead. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Oh boy! So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Erlock? Was it? No. I have no I mean, I have hair. I mean, yes, hair. Please call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh, yes! Rance magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Wait, so is he just like a real detective or a fictional detective or both? Are these like stories made about his real exploits or are they fictional? Like what's his deal? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I am not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusted biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? That isn't everyone. Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Oh gee, yeah. Imagine if somebody who just like records all the events of your life and writes it down and publishes it. It's like the version of vlogging back then, I guess. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this event seriously or not. Introduction, you see, to me is a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. Science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in a subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So, you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes! Oh, gee. Let me see if I can, get a little more light going on here. Okay. That should help. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right! It was none other than the great detective before you know, Mr. Sherlock Holmes! Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him! When I became anxious about causing us about this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be left to be an excellent fit, Mr. Nahodo. Arrgh! The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? Two facts, you say? Yes, tell me more. Mr. Holmes, tell us please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let me be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Holmes. Why would you think the victim was Russian? Because probably he wrote in Russian? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. So yeah, that does bring a question into mind, like why Kazuma would have written in Russian if he did. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Yeah, Russian lesson. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? I mean, I know they took English classes together. I don't know if he also learned Russian in school. In their final moments, many find the native tongue filling the head with this young man Russian. I'm pretty sure he was Japanese. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? Or was he? I guess we'll find out. Initially, I considered God of Rogue maybe the name of the killer. I sent it Robert God, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Oh gosh, this is worse than him just being like a murderer of one person. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. It doesn't, I mean, maybe. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional, no. It was they're school uniforms from a Japanese school. That outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. Does she really believe everything he says? Oh dear. And I had no idea a detective gets something so wrong. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been to a school, Dawn. I really don't. I take a photo of the victim and the message so that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Yeah, dead. I hope it's the first time you've seen him dead and that it's not like a regular occurrence, you know? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay, the Russian for wardrobe in purple ink. It would appear to have been written in the victim's final moments. Okay, now we have a photo of the crime scene. That'll be useful. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes. The train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Are there just, like, a lot of Russians on this ship? Is it, like, owned by a Russian company? Is that why there's the sailor that's Russian? Or, can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, not right. Ah, yes. The more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here, we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. That looks absolutely nothing like This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik. Oh boy. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face! Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. That's a way to phrase it. Please. And might I add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Like, I can kind of see where he was going with this, but you're also way off. Way off. Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of the assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? I don't know, man. And what about the part where you just said I was returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Alright, we got the article. Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Okay. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Yay, yeah, we can just look at the pictures. Yeah, what were you investigating over there at the desk? Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. That's something you want to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading? You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susanoo takedown is. She's not gonna do it to him. She's gonna give him special treatment. She too much of a fangirl for that. Susanoo-san, aren't you going to the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Gee. Life is so unfair. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim, it would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Oh boy. It's like, if anime or manga existed back then, he would just like say all the words that most people do. Ha! But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. Sholmes is a weeb, yeah. Ahaha! So, what was all that showing off about before? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I am much obliged to my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists just of two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. I wonder if it was coming from the vent. Whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Oh, that was the title of the chapter. Something to do with the speckled band. Speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard of that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was probably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Makes you wonder who's in that other cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Alright. So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah! Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and I am still too long. The seasickness takes hold. Oh boy, yeah, we don't want you to get seasick. Don't want to be there for that mess. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? I mean, I think that'd be the logical next step. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I did investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, it'll be somewhat complicated. But why? A simple glance at your wrist reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No. There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking! You just said it, like, only a moment ago. Like, excuse me? Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. Okay, at least she's gonna admit it as well. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So, what were you looking at? My knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha 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 ha! Now you're just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? Well, what about these? There's no way I can— Hi-ya! Bro, she just karate chopped through the chains. Oh my goodness. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moment struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? Ugh. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still some things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Are they unsynced again? Oh no! Huh. I wonder why it would, like, just suddenly happen in the middle of something. Is it just, like, my voice with the webcam that's acting weird? It's not as bad? Okay. Maybe I could just roll with it, as long as it's, like, not unwatchable. Or, I wonder if I, like, click my webcam off and off real quick, if that'll do anything. I don't know if that helps. Yeah, no, I can tell it's out of sync even when I look at OBS. But it's like, yeah, like you said, Dawn, it's only like slightly off. Just kind of makes it look like I have a voiceover on my face. I think I'll keep going. But it's like not too terrible. But thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. If it starts to get, like, worse, let me know, because at that point I probably would want to restart. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't. Oh, it's the waiter dude! Oh my gosh, yeah, it's him again. They still never. Okay, that's something that bugged me. They never explained in the last case why the heck he was coughing up blood. Like, hello? Is that ever gonna be answered? That's like the one unresolved thing that just kept bugging me. Well, waiter, but he's actually a detective. And he's still got the coughing up blood issue. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. You're gonna get blood all over that white sleeve of yours. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I could do to help you, please. I wonder if he's gonna get, like, super into the method acting. Like, last time he was acting as if he was an actual waiter. It's like, is he gonna become really passionate about being a sailor suddenly? That's what I'm thinking. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, well, what you gotta say? So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? Did you kill someone? For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. Okay. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go right ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Are there assassins threatening Asogi? Assassinated? How could that even been a possibility? Like what? Why? How? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I am undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time you've been on board. From morning until night, every day. But I never imagined what happened here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So is he kind of like the gumshoe fill-in for this? Like, who our inspector friend is that just shows up on every crime scene? So, if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. Yeah, I would not want to mess with them. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. It's like, just got a giant sign across his forehead that just says murderer. It's the second time this has happened where people think that about him. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. How can that be? What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to— oh, do we have, like, something we could show him, maybe? That would convince him? Really, I'd live my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's the same as when you are in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Okay. First though, was there like... I think... was there something in this room that I missed? Because I don't know if I investigated like everything on this left side. Yeah, no, there was a couple things I was missing. This is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Ding! Room service. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Ding ding! I suppose nobody comes from lowly Japanese people. Aww. No, I'm sure it's that everyone is busy, that's all. Bed. Okay, nothing there. I know it'll let us know if we, like, checked everything, so hopefully they'll tell us before we, like, go. That's everything I can at least see. I want to take a closer look at these new pieces before we present them. I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. The pair of you floundering, it's a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. Where'd you come from? You just showed up to talk about this with us? The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. Hey there, Serena! Welcome to the stream! Glad to have you. It reads, revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Oh gee, that's one fearsome beard. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? I have the English voices set right now. The solution is obvious. If he despises his beard to that degree, he only needs to shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for the follow, Serena. Appreciate it. Okay. Ooh, okay. They did mention we might be interested in whatever is on the back. Yeah, I know. I love Sylveon. Sylveon's my favorite Pokemon, so that's why I put it as my alert. Love fairy types. Like, my favorite type is fairy, but like my number one favorite Pokemon is Sylveon. Whoops, I meant to look at that. Ballerina? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Oh, well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? I mean, she is quite lovely, I must say. She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, he pops with like a pop-up book. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Oh no. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing in her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. I know, yeah, you just right where you need him, he's just there. He's handy, yeah, he is a very handy detective. He's like a pocket detective. You just need one just on the go. It's just, he'll be right there for you. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money. Now, I'm curious, like, what's the equivalent of that in US dollars? Susada-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside himself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I wonder if she's like in disguise somewhere on the ship. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. So I think that was everything to investigate here. Yes. Okay. Now what about the diary? Oh man, we're reading the diary. This feels wrong, but let's see. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling. Oh yeah, that's the thing that Sholmes had told us about earlier, so that's nothing new. This is literally what we just looked at. Oh, can we investigate further? Hello. Anything of interest here? I mean, yeah, there's nothing really else for us to investigate or read, but I'm guessing that'll be helpful for later. Oh, was that like a smudge piece of ink? Yeah, okay. Anyway, oh yeah, that's why we needed to present this to the detective dude, because that would give him a reason to investigate the other room. That's what we had to do, so let's do that. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? It's weird to me that they're calling it a ventilator and not a vent. Because I think of a ventilator as like those machines that help you breathe that they use in hospitals, not like a vent that air goes through. But I guess it's the full word, and like vent is just the abbreviation for it, I think. I don't know. You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Ventilator isn't as sus. Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, true, because they can't vent. I should have, like, thought of that association sooner. The imposter used the vent. Of course, of course. Alright, I know. Among Us has, like, officially ruined the word vent for, like, everyone. Or even just the phrase Among Us. Just if it's, like, casually used in anything. Like, people are like, ha ha. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I am stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Among Us. Gosh, but I still laugh, though, at stuff where people will, like, just find random objects that are shaped like the little Among Us characters, and they're like, Among Us. That'll still make me laugh to this day. Really? You're willing to do that? It's probably been, like, well over a year since I've played Among Us. I know, like, since I last played, they added a bunch of, like, updates and modes and different roles and all kinds of craziness, so it'd be interesting to check that out at some point. I know it was really funny for April Fool's, that thing they did, where they had, like, a horse mode, where the characters were, like, little horses. That I thought was funny and, like, really creative. The team that works on that game is really cool. Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? Ahem. I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. I mean, I'm kind of already wondering if you're, you know, like, dying because you're always coughing up blood. Yeah, the Henry Stickmin games. I've watched like a little bit of the Henry Stickmin and it looks so funny. That'd be a fun game to play, actually. I think it's on Steam. I should probably check it out because I haven't actually like played them before. But yeah, that's a really cool connection there. That they're the developers of that too. That's how you found Ace Attorney? Really? Oh wow. Oh yeah, because did they, like, make an Ace Attorney reference in Henry Stickmin? Because I know they reference, like, all kinds of stuff. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Yeah? Okay. That's cool. I feel like... Well, in the very first Henry Stickmin, okay, they reference it. That's cool. Yeah, I like first heard about Ace Attorney just because I'd always seen the whole like objection meme thing for like years. Didn't really know much about the game, and then Pacecat, who he's not watching today. Well, in fact, he's avoiding watching these streams because he hasn't played this game yet, so he doesn't want to see spoilers. But anyway, he's someone that I know that introduced me to the Ace Attorney games originally and like recommended that I play them, and it's thanks to him that I, you know, play the original trilogy and then all the other games in the series after that, and this is like the latest one for me to check out, so that's been a cool journey. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin. Oh boy, that's all it takes to move. We just gotta select the button. Move? Alright, let's see what we can find out. I mean, easier said than done, man. He wants to move. Just want to sit. Sitting is nice. It's comfy. You think the Great Ace Attorney is the best in the franchise by far? Really? Oh, okay, that has me really excited because, like, I adore the other games, and probably, like, the third game of the original trilogy, I would say, is my favorite as of now. So, like, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens here. The presentation of this is really nice. It's cool to play, I guess, a more modern Ace Attorney. Also the fact that it's fun to be playing one on... I'm playing this on the Switch. I know it's also on Steam, but I'm playing the Switch version. But the fact that, like, all the other Ace Attorney games I had played on my 3DS, so it's interesting to go from, like, you know, handheld mode to this, you know, it's pretty cool. Let me give this a nice little save. It's been a while. Okay. Also, before I move, I'm curious to see how he reacts to everything I present to him. I'm that type of Ace Attorney player. I like to present everything. just to get that extra dialogue, you know? Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yume University pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... So, you're a genuine student, then? You played the original on your phone? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right, they were also released on mobile, huh? That's cool. Sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. But yeah, definitely, like, to anyone who hasn't played, I think it was, like, Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice, like, now is a really good time to get them because the eShop closing down. So if you want to, like, get those digitally on the 3DS, like, definitely take advantage of that while you can. That's, like, something I would recommend. Is that what you're trying to say? Can I have my badge back, please? Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it? That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? What if they didn't know English either? Maybe, but Fuda paper amulets like this are part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to look inside. It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Nope, not at all. Have you seen this photograph yet, Inspector? Oh, dear, are you alright, Inspector? Yes, sorry, I'm fine. I don't think you're fine. I really don't think you're fine. Oh, gee. I was hoping to hide my upset with a fit of coughing and spluttering. I'm usually very good at it. I don't buy that. Yeah, oh, he's totally fine. But trying to stifle my feelings seems to have stifled my cough this time. It's all so sad. Asogi-san was such a promising young man. The Empire had such high hopes for him. I had such high hopes for him, even though I'm just a detective. Ahem. Ahem. We're all going to miss you, Kazuma. Yeah, I miss him too. Man, he was like so cool. I'm sad that he's dead. Like, why they gotta pull that on us? They gotta pull a Mia Fey on us. Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector? I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian very well. Oh no, that's alright. I know what it says. So you just wanted to point out your university-level linguistic talents, is that it? Sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? But come on, you're just putting words into his mouth now. Sorry, forget I mentioned it. Gee. Kind of insecure there, buddy. This might be the same response to the last one, huh? Yeah, it is. Okay. Just mash through this. Okay, I think we're good to go to the next room now. Move! Oh gosh, press that button. Ooh. Cabin on the SS Buria and the scene of the crime. Kazuma was occupying this cabin for the voyage to bring it along with me as a stowaway. Ooh, first class passageway. Okay. Okay, so it's probably a hallway we're going through, it sounds like. Indeed. 7:48 a.m. SS Buria, first class cabin. Ooh, it's pretty early in the morning. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yeah, I've never been on a cruise ship, but to me it looks like it'd be pretty cramped quarters from like what little I've seen from like videos and photos and stuff. Like it could be a little claustrophobic in there. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Oh gee. So where she's saying is even tinier? Oh, really? The hut must be awful. No, the guy just sitting there. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. You know, this particular chapter is very much giving me Nancy Drew vibes, like the Nancy Drew PC games, which I played quite a bit when I was younger. This whole, like, scenario just reminds me of that. I suppose, like people in handcuffs? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. Aw. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. Oh boy. Well, let's examine. There's stuff to see here. I want to check this side first. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. Aw, man. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Yeah, how big is this ship? Is it a mousetrap? Ah, a trap for catching mice. Don't just have Olive Susato. Yeah, exactly. I mean, wardrobe's gonna be nice. Cozy. Yes, we have plenty of those back in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. Cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Oh, was like cheese not a thing in Japan back then? Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Oh, I love cheese! I hope you get to try some. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. Oh yeah, well I mean don't eat this particular cheese, but if you can get your hands on some other non-trap cheese, then by all means, please indulge. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But, I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. Oh, that's rough. You know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Oh, man. But yeah, if you're that hungry, you would take a chance and just try to grab it. Instead of a mouse trap, it would be a Ryunosuke trap. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Yeah, don't pull the fire alarm. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Man, it feels like most people have had a story of like being in some place where a fire alarm was pulled. Like I think I had one time I went to a movie theater, and like in the middle of the movie, like the fire alarm suddenly went off, which was terrifying, and like we all, you know, evacuated outside. And later we found out that someone had just pulled the alarm, so we like went back and they resumed the movie. But it was definitely a frightening experience at the time. Oh, this is... Actually, what are you doing, Orohodo-san? You mustn't touch it! But this is an emergency situation. Just look at all these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. This ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Or like, I haven't been in a situation, but I've known people who have like gone to like a LAN or a convention where they'd be in a hotel and in the middle of the night the fire alarm went off and you have to like run down the steps multiple stories. Like that sounds like the worst. Just like in the middle of the night and just having to climb all those stairs. Ugh, that would not be fun. That would be dreadful. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No! There's a lot of jump scares in this game. Okay. Hello? You're, ugh, oh my. Excuse me, we need to get inside the cabin here. Is this me or does he have like some markings across his face? Like, did you like fall asleep while sunbathing with something on your face that like made you get a weird tan or something? I don't know. It's kind of what it reminds me of at first glance. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. The worst tan lines, right, Dawn? Yeah. Man, like, honestly, that's, like, one of the reasons why, I'm not a huge fan of, like, tanning outside, because I don't like having tan lines. It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. Okay, let's check over here. Just like a... Whoops. Diagram of the ship. This is like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck. Look. The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but... How is it such a lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, how does science a boat work? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Okay. That's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Yeah, that really didn't explain anything. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. What you got going on, man? Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. That was rude. Oh. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. Okay, what's your name? I am senior crewman, Biff Stroganoff. Is that a pun on beef stroganoff? Is that the pun? I know these games love their pun names. Beef stroganoff is good though. That sounds tasty. The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Hey, Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. The most on-the-nose name there is, yeah, I'd have to say. Red, white, yeah. Oh gosh, don't remind me about red, white. Oh boy. Here we are in finest part of Boreas steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens, traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean. But Stroganoff is not an animal. Ah man, yeah, this is literally Among Us now. Just throw the imposter stowaway off the ship. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? He's the BL, yeah, literally. You look like a snack, as they say. Yeah, you just, however you say that. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like, da. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Tell us more. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. Grimsby Roylott. Trying to see if we can understand the pun here, if there is one. Grimsby Roylott. Grimsby Roylott. Now things coming to mind. Oh, there was, it's like those games where like you say it out loud and then it like sounds like something. Grimsby Roylott. Grimsby Roylott. Grimsby Roylott. Man, I don't know. Oh, Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of a student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. I mean, Mr. Beef Stroganoff here has some pretty beefy looking muscles. I mean, just look at that. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? Oh, it's a name from the Sherlock novels? Destaza? Okay. I see you. Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with the Sherlock novels to, like, pick up on most of the references, other than the obvious, you know, Harlock Sholmes and, Wilson being Watson. Come to think of it. Oh, okay, so there's actually a Sherlock Holmes story called The Speckled Band. So this whole thing is a Sherlock Holmes reference. That's neat. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Cosimo's cabin the entire time, I never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Man, I'm gonna want to read that short story now just to get more context, although I'm gonna make sure to wait to look at it until, like, after I finish this case, in case it, like, gives me clues or spoils something. Oh, you have the entire collection? Nice, yeah. You got the receipts, Distaza. I see you, I see you. Well, presumably, since the gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is said about Student Boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Can't ever you say that. So Satisson, did you understand that? It was clearly no. That's what I would have assumed. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second-class area, staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or, as the English say, when the pigs fly. When the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. That's a phrase I have not heard before. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate the area properly, shall we? Definitely. Oh boy, yeah, we can do things. So yeah, still haven't looked at this door. That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Yeah. That's risky. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Cosimo's death remains a mystery anyway. Okay, can we go inside here now? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Cosimo wrote that he saw a speckled band emerge. Maybe whoever is in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh boy. Knock knock. Who's there? No answer. Right of luck it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. Is the door open? Can we just go in? How annoying. What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. Oh, you. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. That's quite an interesting hobby. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. Yep, Sholmes saved the day. This door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? Oh my gosh, yes, he must release this inner rage. I think we should go in. There's no time to talk about stress relief. I don't know, just... Gotta be something you can kick. Alright, first class cabin number 2. Oh! Hi! You don't look suspicious, like, at all. Who are you? I wonder if this is the, that person that was, like, in the newspaper they were talking about. Mr. Gentleman, this man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, you just scream. That's interesting. This room almost looks like, identical layout to the other one. Except, like, the vents on the opposite side. But yeah, it's like a mirror image, kind of. Because, like, the table's on the left instead of the right. And I guess the bed, the other side, too. Okay, yeah, so it's just like a mirror image of the other one. Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but... You are Mr. Grimesby Warlot, I believe? Yes, that's me, and you are. I was holding a pair of scissors, huh? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You have heard of me, no doubt? No. Ah! Bursts his bubble. I am a great detective among detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man that uses magazines like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanate from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Oh! I wonder if, like, the woman's voice could have been that runaway ballerina we read about earlier. How could anyone fit inside a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. I mean, I guess it seems to be in vogue. Don't look at me! Oh! Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruto? Something is in there. Yes, the case just shook. Now I'm shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this cause of his neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Warlot. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Okay, let's talk to you. Mr. Warlot, we'd like to talk to you about something. No! Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree. But there may be someone else who can help. Why did you just appear in there suddenly? Perhaps the great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Royalot. I mean, I guess he could be useful for that. Mr. Royalot, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. This is like the same thing as before. Okay. So, like, we really can't have a conversation at this point, can we? Yeah. Same old, same old. Sholmes appears, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what about if I present something to you? What will you say? Mr. Royalot, what do you make of this? Listen, do you know why I'm wearing these dark glasses? No, not really. So I do not have to look at things I do not want to look at. I mean, that's fair. That's the way to do it. Just like wear sunglasses indoors. Do you understand me? I wish I could point out that you can still see things even when wearing sunglasses. But a chilly air has frozen my lips shut. I'm guessing it'll give like the same response for like everything else here. What about this? We have this Russian newspaper here. I have the same newspaper in my cabin. Maybe they give it to all first-class passengers. Well, neither of us speak a word of Russian, so we can't read it at all. Would you mind telling us what this article is about? If you do not speak Russian, you don't need to know what it is saying. Ugh, Russia must be a cold, cold place. Okay, I'll present the other things. It's probably just gonna... Oh, he actually has something to say. Have you seen this before? I've never seen those strange letters before in my life. It says keep out in Japanese. I have heard that language. Seriously, is the Empire of Japan really that insignificant on the world stage? Hey, look, a dead body. This word was written on the floor in ink next to where the man died, as if he wrote it in his last moments. It's Russian, isn't it? We believe it means wardrobe, is that right? Yes, that's right. Could you tell us how it's pronounced, please? Okay. Oh, that was pointless? It is very sad. Sorry? The steward told me he was a young man. Yes, he was my best friend. That's a terrible tragedy. Have you seen this? I don't know what that is. I can't read it. It's a travel diary written by the man who was killed. It's Japanese. I haven't heard of that language. A moment ago, you made it sound like you had. Seriously? Or maybe he said he did it before. And anything to say about this? Oh, that's the same as before. Okay. I wasn't sure if you could give more detail. Alright, now let's investigate. What are you doing there? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service. Oh man, this theme starts playing. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Oh well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Royalot, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Your favorite parts of the game? I know. It's so good. Why? The truth, of course. It should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right? Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? I would. Oh yes, please! Oh boy, what's he gonna do? Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh boy. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of Russianness or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone. Oh, that's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I read it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence and biases the judgment. Shh, I must have complete silence. Zoom in. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean by this? Number one. Your true identity is that of a villain. I wonder how far off this will be, or how close, considering he was way off whenever he was guessing the stuff for Ryunosuke. Came to whack conclusions. Using those shins, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Aha! And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment, alas, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with a nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. I mean, it looks like a fake beard to me. Does it not? Ugh! Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Oh dang, he was actually right on it this time. How could you? How could I possibly know such things? Oh, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery that is board the train of reasoning. All aboard. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Oh boy, this should be interesting. Ooh, okay, this is cool. This is actually really cool. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Warlord, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Yeah, I can see why this is her favorite part of, like, segments of Distaza. This is so neat. Is the enormous pairs of shears in your hands? Dare we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? Answer, of course, is staring us right in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to put yourself with this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper. In particular, the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary violin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article itself, we decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. I am really loving Herlock Sholmes. This is awesome. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Violin Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Conclusion. A revolutionary on the run. Alright, next one. Topic 2, wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Warlott. Taking it unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek, where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crimes is before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. But no, I refuse. Snap. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps? Once light enough to fit therein? It's one teeny tiny ballerina. Don't be absurd! And what, pray, would the identity of this young lady in the traveling case be? Ah, dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. I've heard of a coup d'etat, but what's a coup d'oeil? Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason to refuse to open a traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. But there was another, most stimulating article. And we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline could lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Conclusion, kidnapping of a young ballerina. I actually think he's right here. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky! Like Elementary Dear Watson, but like Russian version of it. Susato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about. Oh, was it? Oh, well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. I thought it was good. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... Hey, Payscott! I know, are the lights glorious? Okay, yeah. I'll talk to you more about the lights later, because I have some things I need to, like, work out. But yeah, my only issue is I don't have the lamp turned on in the corner, because it kind of made, like, the light effect not look this vibrant. So... currently, I have, like, no light source other than my monitor. So, like, it looks okay now, but, like, if my screen goes dark, I get kind of dark. So, I need to, like, figure out something to do with that. But otherwise, yeah, it looks awesome back here. Thank you so much. Shout out to Payscout, by the way. He's the person who gifted me this whole, like, projector thing behind me that looks amazing. I'm trying it out for the first time tonight and loving it to death. So, yeah. Ew, girl, come on. You must accept my compliments, Payscott. I'm sorry. No, Payscott is not gross. Payscott is awesome. Okay, bye. I'll talk to you later. These two men look nothing like each other. Yeah, you know, that actually, so, it almost seems like a disguise to kind of resemble this runaway, but it's like not actually them. I mean, like, the facial structure for one is completely different. Ah, yes, I recall a discussion earlier. And at the time, I believe I told you. That the man is revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Warlot does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing. That part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. And not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old into that case if you pushed really hard. Yeah, I know, it's so small. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she is 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Yeah, no kidding. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain life in their bodies. Consuming straight vinegar sounds awful. I would not want to do that. Vinegar? Oh, such a sour bunch. It would surely be simplicity and self to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Unless you're like a contortionist, I don't know about that. Oh dear, you might be, yeah, thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something has just occurred to me about Mr. Sholm's deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes get to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Yeah, I'd say it's a good way of putting it. Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Miss Hisato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So, I was wondering if you might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that. We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholm's great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. Yeah, he sure is a piece of work, but I love him so far. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Well, you're self-aware at least. I can appreciate that. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? Ah, where are your handcuffs? Yeah, what happened to them? How did... well, they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. Oh, you remove them? Thanks. You are homie now, Sholmes. You're a Sholmy. Homie? Homie? I don't know, man. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. Yeah, exactly. Like, please don't put those handcuffs back on. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular! Oh boy, back to this. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes! Alright. These are really fun segments. So the dubious looking Russian Mr. Warlet obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Is the enormous pairs of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport. Yeah, I think there was more to it there. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Can't grow a beard, Ryunosuke. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylet either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylet. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholm's deductions better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. I wonder if this is like the ballerina in disguise and they're trying to destroy the newspaper articles, so, you know, like, they're like upset about it. And like want to remove any, you know, evidence of who they could be. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in the last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylet going to use those enormous shears for? What was he about to cut? Oh right, I can't go down? Oh my, that angle. I don't like that angle. Whoa. Oh, look at the back there! That hair! That hair, though. I think we found what you were trying to use those scissors on.
Yes!
You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away your golden locks. Hey, your time to shine, Ryunosuke. You are using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. It took you 3 minutes to realize that was hair. Yeah. It's so, yeah, it's like, it is very odd looking. You're like, well, what the heck is that? Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. I mean, an old man can have some nice luscious locks. Or, you know, a wig, I don't know. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room, introducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. Well, I'm having fun. This is strictly business stuff. Yes, I understand. Say no more. He doesn't want to admit he's enjoying this. Well, anyway, let's focus on the next part, Mr. Sholmes' seduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather, she, can possibly be this mercenary. Or this merciless revolutionary. I totally said the wrong word there. He would admit, but he loves doing this. Yeah, you can tell he's enjoying this. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole is taking a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Yeah, we sure did.
Yes!
Oh man, the glass shattering effects. Love it. The evidence that reveals her true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear that we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Haha! Ag! Oh no. I'm glad that was just your hat, not like your actual head that got stabbed there. Oh my. Unmasked. Ooh, you're so pretty. I like the earring. It's like a little crescent moon. You're right. My real name is Nikolina Pavlovna. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Alright, we got it. A ballerina on the run. Solved. Okay, now I need to figure out what she was doing. What's in the case? Now, so my secondary conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see? Ah, and I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. And so we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime is before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. So this woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our very eyes. So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. And no, that's right, it seems she wasn't abducted at all. I wonder if it's a pet, because they're like not allowed to have pets on here. Did she smuggle a pet? In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Okay. Oh, we can. Ooh, I think we found something important. Tiara.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, okay, I gotta know how much money is that? Rubles to dollars. And then again, I don't know, the equivalent to like what that was worth back in the 19th century or whenever this took place is probably like significantly more, but like in today's day and age, 20,000 rubles is about $252 and $37 US. Yeah, okay, interesting. I just had to know since they kept up bringing up that currency amount. The crime you have committed is theft. I know exactly who would want to do this with Sherlock. That is so true, Distazo, so true. It's like a chance of a lifetime. Oh no. Yes, you have left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking the precious tiara with you. Ugh! I have no one, no family, no friends. $200 like 2K 100 years ago? Okay, yeah, that sounds a little more accurate as far as like how much this is probably worth. Because I'm sure it's like, yeah, worth a lot. I am all alone and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me! This girl is only 15 years old and she's run away all by herself? She must have been extremely lonely. Alright. I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. The spotlight is great. Come, come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. A mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to I keep mixing up accents. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is it not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? A careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. I don't know about that. He's completely changed tack with his seduction now. I think Mr. Schultz is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's a wild guess. Surely. You know, it is interesting that everything in this room is leaned over, like how it was in the other room, too. It has to be significant somehow. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Well, maybe there's something else in that direction. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Alright, here we go. What have we here? I'm guessing the rules of passage have to do with it. If my hunch is correct about it being, like, a pet or some sort of animal. These are the rules of passage to travel aboard the SS Borea. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There was exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. You'd probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? No, that wasn't it? I don't think it's the door. What else could it be? I can't look down. I guess I might as well see what they say.
Yes!
Oh, that was it. Okay, but like... what about it? Did I get this wrong? There's like a penalty marker now. The way I see it, books are a treasured collection of all human knowledge. There's almost nothing you can't look up in a book. Which means you can probably look up the reason why Miss Pavlova would open her case and want to- No, no. Are you quite concentrating? You've identified exactly what I did originally. Oh yes, so I have. Sorry. Well, I do understand, and inimitable as I am, people do like to try. But you'll make a great detective like that. Not even a great detective assistant. An assistant then? Alright, I'll think again. Oh dang, you didn't get penalties for this. Ooh. How dare you agree with me, right? Surely the reason that Miss Pavlova doesn't want to open a traveling case is because there's something inside that she doesn't want to see, yeah. Come to think of it, we saw the case moving before, yes. What has Miss Pavlova got inside her case? Whatever it is there she's glancing at will probably give us the answer. Okay, so just for the sake of me not just getting hit with a ton of more penalties, it'll, you know. Oh, I can't save. No! I always like to save before I do things that could be penalties, so that way I can like reset if I get it wrong. I mean, like, my only other option here is this picture, so it's okay.
Yes!
Oh, you know what? Maybe it is the rule thing, but like before I wasn't like adding it to there, I was just reading about it. Ugh, this is frustrating. Oh, I can try from the last scene, but not the start of the day. Oh, okay, that is good to know. Thank you for telling me that. Because I know in the original Ace Attorney games, if you like fail and get all penalties, you have to like completely restart the entire chapter, which is just, no one wants to do that. So you start from the last scene. Okay, so that's not as bad. So if I end up in hot water, it's not like the end of the world. Cool. You used to say before prison evidence. Yeah, like that's what I was doing during the first case, like non-stop, because it's just like a habit of mine, because I was so used to always like resetting anytime I got something wrong, because I didn't want like any penalties. I read a mystery story the other day, and in that there was a secret safe hidden behind a picture just like this. That's right, behind this picture is a safe too, and inside, the key to your traveling case. I really doubt this is it. So no more games. Open it up now. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just follow the natural progression of the deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. That hurt. Okay. Okay, just kind of rehashing the same thing as before. Like, this is annoying because this was like the first thing I investigated that I thought was the answer. But it didn't like count towards what drawing our conclusion for some reason at first. Like, why not? But it did it for the other two. Like, huh? Excuse me.
Yes!
So I technically got it right the first time. It just wasn't allowing me to like conclude things yet. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. It is spelled out sometimes you need to examine things first. Yeah, that's fair. I know sometimes these games are gonna have their quirks with that, with like the correct method not being totally obvious at first. That a little spin. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. They forgot to explain it. Yeah, I think they could have been more clear in that moment, honestly. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. I mean, at least I hope not. Which leaves with one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case. Hey! Okay, that was a cool moment. It's like some nice choreography here. And last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet! Oh, I hope it's a cute pet. I want to see cute pet. Ah! I feel like it's either going to be like a small dog or something. If it's a cat, I would especially freak out because I love cats. But I'm guessing my hunch is a dog, but we'll see. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylett. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape to your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Borea is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have stuck on board without being noticed? I mean, not to mention all those sailor guys are, like, watching pretty closely. In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. That was a clever way of putting it. Yet a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave one alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard outside the cabin? That variable tinkling of a bell, the wine, and of the young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself. So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put on the fur hat and the fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. Yeah, that'd be pretty upsetting to see. I was so frightened I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up my scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Yeah, you should have locked your door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? That's what I want to know. You're right, it is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone if the captain finds out. If you say to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. You must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. Yes, alright, I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something Mr. Sholm's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova had agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrist. Are the handcuffs back on? Oh man, that's not cool. Your hands are cuffed again. I mean, that takes talent to do that without him noticing, though. Oh, but how? True to my word, I was sword or shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I am sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment. Can't it, really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what this speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. Okay. So, looks like we're about the 3-hour mark, so I believe I will end stream there. Oh gosh, I am loving this second case so much already. It's like way more interesting and entertaining than the first one, so I'm like super excited to play more of this. And yeah, I'll be continuing this next Tuesday. Oh, thank you for the follow, Staza. Definitely enjoyed your company tonight. So yeah, if you want to catch my continuation of this, that'll be next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. I usually stream on a Tuesday and Thursday at that same time, so that's when this will resume. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me. Shout outs to my new projection background. So I've got to figure out some things with the lighting, so I'm not like cast in shadow too much, but at least the wall looks pretty, you know, that part's fun. And also apologize for like the slightly out of sync audio. Hopefully I can like figure that out for next time. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Goodbye and take care.